Yeah, for sure. And with this conversation, we also got to talk about the Mavs. So, where do the Mavericks go from here? There are definitely some flaws and some things I noticed throughout this series was honestly Dallas struggled scoring sometimes. And it makes you wonder, is Brunson your number 2 guy that you want? He is, because he had some pretty good games here and there. But unfortunately, it wasn't as consistent. So I think the Mavericks have to decide. Mark Cuban seemed to hint at that he was going to extend Brunson no matter what. So by all accounts, it seems that as of right now, he's going to be there in the future. But my question is that enough? I think another thing that hurt them was the rebounding. They were really hurt by the rebounding in this series. Yeah. You know, all the offensive rebounds, that led to easy scores for the Warriors. So you got to think about what's a big man you can invest in that can give you value on the end. They don't need a whole lot. It doesn't have to be a scoring big. Just a big who can do his job. Rebound and help defend the rim. Because that's the 2 things that they were missing. They really lack the rim defenders. So those are 2 things they really need to look for in this off season. Invest in the big who won't cost too much, because you're investing a lot of your money into Brunson now, apparently. Who deserves the bag? He had a breakout season this year. He deserves it. He deserves some money. I don't think it's like Supermax type thing, but it's a good money, a good contract.
Yeah,
it's a good contract work, but again, that's gonna take up a certain amount of the cap, right? So ideally you want a big that's probably like in the single millions range, you know, someone like that, someone you can get on the cheap. For example, like. So imagine they could get someone like Thomas Bryant comes in my head, for example. That's like a cheap big you can get who can get rebounds, and there are probably like other bigs on that tier, you know. And there's plenty of them you can probably get. So that's what I think they should do. That's where I think they should go from there. And Jason Kidd also made a dig. Did you hear his comments post game? All right, so he made some post game comments saying that they basically need to put the work in and be ready, right? And a lot of people, I'm paraphrasing the quote, but it seemed to hint that he was suggesting that Luka. All right, so Luka came into the season kind of out of shape, and that's what a lot of people were reading between the lines, seeing what that was. Some people think it wasn't a dig. Some people think it was. I don't know if it's a dig or not. I don't know. But he was hinting at that, like, because Luka didn't really pick up his pace until like December, but he was like more in shape. So I don't disagree with him. I mean, Luka, and the better he is, the better his ability to carry. Because as of right now, they're gonna need him to carry. Because I don't know how else they can improve. It would have been great if Kristaps Porzingis worked out. That would have been great, but it didn't. So you need to figure out who exactly you want to build around Luka. And I'm not sure Brunson is that guy. I'm not sure.
I like Brunson a lot, and I think he's deserving of, you know, a nice contract for sure. But when it comes to this team, I don't know if he can be a second option to Luka on a contending Dallas Mavericks team. I think he's a valuable piece, and if anything, when Luka's out, he can be the primary ball handler, get his own shot, etc. But I think they need another I wouldn't even say superstar, but maybe like another star caliber type of player that can come in and not running and creating their own shot offense, but creating for the entire team, because that's what they seem to be missing. It's like Luka comes in, you know, Luka's going to give you 25 and 10. He's going to get guys involved, but once he goes out, Brunson's gonna, get his buckets. He's not gonna produce at the level of a Luka. Spencer Dinwiddie can, give you a lot of baskets, but I don't think he's more so producing for the entire team. And I'm not sure if he's gonna do that every single night either. I think you need someone else that can, I don't know, maybe another like a forward, another wing that's able to get their own shot and go from there. I think if you, like you said, invest in a big man, that would be good too. But I'm not sure what that means for them. I feel like they need like a lob threat at the basket type of player, or maybe I don't know, I think a good big for sure, but I just don't know. I like Finney Smith. I like Dwight Powell, but I don't know if he can be. I don't know if Dwight Powell can be that type of lob threat that they're looking for, or that they need to get down low and make things happen. Well, overall, I'm not mad at their effort. And to speak on the Jason Kidd comment, I know I saw a lot of memes about Luka being on the hookah and spicy McChicken diet all summer, but it still seemed to work out. I mean, he, for the most part, even if it was December, later half of the season, the Mavericks had a pretty good seeding.
Luka got first team
finals. He got first team. So I don't think Luka is the problem. I think if anything, he's probably addressing just the team in general. Just like, you got to understand the assignment. You got to come in, prepare, and go to work. Put teams away and stay focused. I think that's probably what it was. Because I mean, like you said, game 2 they should have had that. They had the lead and they blew it. And you can't do this of savage Warriors team.
Do you think the Mavericks window was closed now?
I don't think so. I mean, Luka said it himself, like he's 20-something. I can't remember his age, but he's young. And for the most part, the Mavericks are a young team. And I think that they will be back. I think that they need another piece to compete. And if everything goes right, the West probably will be more competitive next year if guys come back from injury and, after the draft, everything like that. But I don't think the window is closed. I don't see them winning next year. I don't see them winning probably the year after that either. But
that means it's closed.
I'm saying like in the next 3 to 5 years, they have a chance if they add the right people. But I think they have a chance. Like I think for me, if I'm Dallas, I just need to find another player that I can add to this roster to take the pressure off of Luka, because Luka to me is going to get better, or he's going to be, or at least in my opinion, he's going to be at this level for a few more years.
I just had an idea. I'll say this. This can work for the Mavericks on 2 fronts. Deandre Ayden apparently is not happy with the Suns. If you're the Mavs, you need a big.
Okay.
Deandre Ayden wants to get paid. If you pay Deandre Ayden enough, and you can kind of tell and kind of keep Jalen Brunson somehow, you probably go over the lesser tracks a little bit. I think it'll be worth it. Can you imagine Luka and Deandre Ayden? They're in the same draft class too, right?
Yeah.
And I can see that working. And plus, you're taking something away from the Suns. Because if the Suns don't have DeAndre Ayton, I don't see them going back into anything. I don't see them continuing anything. So that can help you on 2 fronts. You gain a player of that caliber, and you take away something from the Suns. So you can easily get yourself back into contention with the Suns out the way. So, and DeAndre is that big. He's a good. You want a rim protector? That's your guy. Lob threat? That's your guy.
He can score down low on his own too.
Yeah, I also like the thought of him training with Jason Kidd and like development, because Jason Kidd is a good developmental coach.
Yeah, for sure.
Player development. So, can you imagine him developing with his staff? How much better he can be, and playing with Luka, that automatically makes you better And Deandre is a player that doesn't need the ball because he's not going to be a ball handler. Luka doesn't need a star that's going to handle the ball a lot. That's why I'm questioning if Brunson will work. So Deandre doesn't. He knows he can get the ball as a lob threat or whatever. So I think that could work.
I like how you think.
I will look at that.
That could be something they could explore for sure. Deandre Ayden didn't do so well in this, playoffs.
Nope.
Well, this series with the Mavericks at least. But yeah, I know for sure he wants a better or bigger role, I guess. And going to that could be something, man. I want to see how this plays out.
I would definitely see them as contenders, and the window not closed if they get someone like Deandre Ayden. But without someone like that, and then, I don't know who they'll pick up otherwise, and if they do decide to give Brunson most of that money, I don't see them really doing anything. Because like we just said, Memphis is on the rise. I'm not sure about Phoenix anymore, depending on what goes with Deandre Ayden. But other than that, the Clippers will come back with the healthy Kawhi and Paul George. You gotta think they'll come back. The Lakers, we just talked about them having a new coach. If they can get themselves together, they could be back in the playoffs, right? You have all these other teams, the Pelicans. I don't see them going anywhere, especially if they get Zion back.
Minnesota too.
Minnesota.
They have a chance.
They have a chance. There's a lot of teams.
A lot.
In the Western Conference that could have a chance here. So it's
Denver get Jamal Murray back. And
you have the Nuggets. Good point. They could be back.
Off of Jokic, man. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But I want to see what they do. I think that they have a shot still. If they add a good, if not Ayden, somebody that complements Luka.
Yeah. But we'll have to see.
We'll see.
And also, I don't really think of the Jazz as much, but they're always being playoff contention. I mean, we don't think of them as much, but I don't know. Depending on what goes this off season, and they keep everything and run it back again, you can at least expect them in the playoffs. So that's another playoff spot taken from you. So
we'll have to dive into the Jazz in the next show because there's some things going on out there.